Okay, for all of our perspective komunikasi warna episode, I will ask our guests to actually explain colored brain in your perspective, because of, yes, I have my perspective, but I also wanted to learn from your perspective. What is colored brain, and what are the colors involved, and also how does this colored brain, is there anything really correlation with the generations, or yeah, maybe you can explain on the colored brain first.
Okay, yeah. Okay, my perspective on color brain, right? Everything, all, I learned it from Carmazzi, who's my mentor and guru, right? So, not sure whether you're aware of this term called ambiguity relief, right? Now, what is ambiguity relief, right? Now, all of us, no matter what color brain you are, right? When we need to think what happened, your brain will go through a process, right, for a few seconds or even nanoseconds. Right, but that is a process, all our brains needs to go through in order to get clarity. What do we need to do, especially when you are assigned a task or something that you are not sure, something that you don't know, right? So your brain will run through that process to get an answer, right? So that's why it's called ambiguity relief. Now, this process that your brain runs, right, and how to know what kind of processor that you are doing, right, that you're running, right, you need to have colored brain as the instrument to measure these processes. So this is, what colored brain is all about, right? So colored brain is the instrument that can measure how your brain can get clarity, right? And of course, at the end, there are 4 colors, right? There are 4 types, as per, what is being developed, right? You have the green, right? I'm green. Johan is green, right? Green is the chaotic type, right? Now, the word chaos can seem like, alamak, chaos, but chaotic people like me, right, got a lot of positive points also, right? What are the positive points? We are quick. Okay, we do not need to do things in very tidy, organized way, right? In a lot of chaos, right? I can get my work done, but it may not be in the best situation, but I can deliver it to you. Yeah, right? And we can have quick ideas on that spot. There's no need to plan or think so much. But having said that, right, in real life, I also made lots of mistakes on. The point is that as a green brain, right, we are very forward thinking, right? We make mistakes, yes, right, but we turn around fast also. Yeah, hopefully the mistakes is not too big, that's manageable, right? But when I look back my life, right, there are mistakes that I've made, right? But every mistakes was actually a turning point for me. Yeah, but if I don't make all these mistakes, I don't know that this is how I should be improving myself. So green brain is by doing. It is very much by doing. They are not the type who go and learn, study, right? They cannot sit still, right? They cannot sit still, and they can learn, and then they need to pick up very abstract. They will have to find their own ways how to learn it. Yeah. Okay. Then you have red. Red is a linear type, right? Very straight line. Everything, right? They will analyze a lot. Analysis is the strength of a red brain, right? And red brain will do a lot of calculation, and they are the type that are very objective one. They need to know what's the end results that they need to deliver. So from there, they will go backwards. Yeah. So for a red brain, they need to see clarity of the end results. From that, they go backwards, right? And with that, they will have facts. They will have certain information to analyze, to prove it that it can be done, and they will follow through to get it done. So that's red brain. Yeah. And then you have purple. Now, purple will see things in big picture, but in very, 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 very detailed. Okay. So for a purple brain to do work, right, they need massive data. They are the opposite of green, right? Green sees it in the blur picture. They need to act to get clarity in order to know what's the next step. But purple, they will absolutely need lots of data. So purple brain will be the type who will be doing research, reading, Googling, anything, everything, right? They need to gather all the data, right? And they connect through the data. So for a purple brain, their visual is like a big piece of jigsaw puzzle. It could be 1,000 pieces, right? And that little pieces, all pieces are connected together. And once you connect, you see that big picture. So that would be how a purple brain would visualize, right? And then you have a blue. Now, blue brain is the magical one, right? They are the people who needs to be connected with people, right? Everything is all about people. They connect. They have very strong intuition, and they have a strong sixth sense. And it is through their magical touch they are able to connect people, right? They have good connection, good communication skills, interpersonal skills, and they are the type who are very good in multitasking. Okay, so Johan, that's a very quick overview on what the four colors are. Yeah.
Brief of all these four colors. And also, how do you see generations related to colors? Because of this is the thing that I noticed when I was I think early in my career. Not so many people talks about all this, to do profile. But nowadays, I think a lot of organizations wanting to have profiles, wanting to know why people are different. So probably you can explain a little bit on generation perspective.
Okay, now, I mean, all generations will have all four colors. The question here is, right, by knowing the colored brain, it guides them better. Yeah, and it gives them a perspective, right, how they want to do things, or it is a guide to help them that they are able to achieve things better. For example, in this COVID, right, how do you manage change? Now, no matter what generation that you come from, I've talked about boomers and Z, right? How are the two most affected generation. But in terms of colored brain, right? Of the four colors, right? Which color is the one that can quickly turn around and manage situation better? Which color? Right now, as what I explained, right? Green will do a better job, but of course, it's always make mistakes along the way, right? When COVID came, even for me, right, I was affected, right? But how did I turn around? I quickly go and sign up virtual classes and learn how to conduct training virtually. Now, I'm boomers, I don't know how to do all this one, right? I have to learn. So to Johan, it's something I have to go and learn at 10 classes, right? For you, it's natural, right? For me, right, immediately that's what I do. Yeah, and I learn and I practice, and of course now I can do all this stuff, right? But I need to go through that process, right? But that was me, right? In May, I signed up a VLC class. Yeah, and I was in the first batch. Yeah. Then when I was halfway through the class, what I did was an idea came to me, and then I organized, global reboot conference. You see, that was like, me again, another, turn around for me, just in order to feel what is it like to do it, and all that, right? Because I'm green, right? And I know the situation, right? And I know this is something that I have to do. So I just do it.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Right. So it's trial and error. Now, what happened to the, if you are red, purple, or blue, right? Now, the red brain, in my opinion, could be one of those that find it a bit difficult, right? Because of the structured brain, they may have lots of plans, at the beginning of 2020, right? That you want to do this follow through, right? And suddenly hit the MCO comes, right? They could be stuck for a while. Right, until they realize that MCO will not be lifted so soon, and it's going to happen, continue some more. If not, I believe they will be kind of like, wait, right, and maybe without much action, also just to, with a view to wait, because they want to follow through their plan. Well, purple brain will probably be, reading a lot about all this COVID to know what more before they know what's the next step. Yeah. And blue will be like, trying to find out what's happening through talking people, meeting with people, connecting, online during the MCO time, right? Just to find out what's happening. And if they have friends who go in and join all the classes, they may also join. So this is my observation, on what was happening surrounding me, during the MCO time. So it's like, depending on what color brain you are, right, that will be how it impact you, based on your generation also. Yeah.
So meaning that if you are baby boomers and you are purple, you might not be able to suddenly conduct online conference without actually knowing at the very beginning of the year what actually online conference is all about, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
but if a younger generation, they might already have that kind of information. Maybe still purple can do it. So that's how generations also plays a role, and with all these different colors, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
we are already about 1 hour.
Wow.
Time flies, right? I thought just 5
Yes.
minutes. So 1 hour and 5. Okay. And okay, one questions I wanted to ask out of all these generations you mentioned about Gen X, Gen Y, Gen Z, what actually generation is the best to become the CEO? And you can answer another one more questions. What generation can be a CEO? And if there is a color, what color is the best to become the CEO at this point of time?
Wow. I cannot be. If I have a crystal ball, I think I will do very well. Okay, this is my opinion, right? Based on my research and finding out so much about generation, right? My take, right? To be a CEO, you need to understand the generational gaps very well, because you could be somebody who is at boomer's age, but if you do not empathize or understand how a Gen Y or now Gen Z coming from, forever, there is a leadership gap that's being perceived. Yeah, right? And if you're a young CEO in a startup company, right, and you want to do things in many ways and all that, which I understand, right? But if you also don't have that generational knowledge, you will always perceive that someone who is older than you, that that they are different, and you kind of stop there. It could happen in that way also, right? So in my opinion, right, X or XY type, as long as you have the X criteria, it will put you in a very good position to be a CEO. Why? Okay, because Gen X is the generation, I call them the sandwich. They are sandwiched between boomers and Y, right? And in the workplace, a lot of Gen X, they are pretty flexible, because they are trained how to interact with with baby boomers. They have the personal skills to communicate face-to-face communication. Gen X also have that. Okay, and Gen X are also, right, pretty tech savvy, especially the XY type. Yeah, so they understand technology, they understand the needs of the Gen Y, right? So as long as you have the X criteria, you have the perspective of the other two generations. So that will help you, to deal with your team, right, and to be a good leader, because that's my perspective. Yeah. And what color? Well, my answer would be, it all depends what industry that you are in. Yeah, every industry's you need some unique characteristics to be a good leader, and every color can be a leader actually, right? Every color can be a leader. So it all depends which industry that you are in. And if you are not sure, just talk to Johan. You can talk to me. We will guide you.
Okay. All right. So all colors can be a leader, but in general, in your opinion, X and XY will have that advantage because of they can see the both picture. But nonetheless, I think that might not be the rule, because of I think nowadays we have people like Mark Zuckerberg, which is very much Gen Y, right? Being the CEO, but the company is actually run by, I think, some of the CEOs, Sheryl Sandberg and all, who might be Gen XY or Gen X or Gen XY as well.